Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Coaching, as opposed to mentoring are two different things. I have a friend of mine. His name is James. He's a psychologist. We have a lot of fun together. One of the things that James asked me to do was help him develop what he called his psychology theater. He didn't know exactly what to do. Now, James has a PhD in psychology. That means he's very, very smart. People with PhDs, I think, are really interesting people. I have a few friends that are PhDs, and I have a lot of fun with them because, first of all, they think they know everything. Well, sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. However, they believe that they know everything. And one of them told me one time that a PhD can talk about anything they want to talk about anytime because they know it all. And I thought, okay, well, that's great. So anyway, James came to me and he said, I need some help. And I said, well, James, you're a PhD. What do you need help for? He said, well, I guess I have to admit that I can't do everything. And I said to myself, really? Oh, this is really profound. I'll help you, James. So we started a process of developing his psychology theater. I explained to him what he needed. First, I asked him, why did you come to me? He said, well, you've been in construction and you've done a lot of organizing of things, and I know you can probably really help me with this. I thought, okay, so what you need is coaching. And he said, well, yeah, I guess that's what it is. Yes. So I'll explain to you how to do some things. We can talk about what your needs are, and then you can go about doing it. And he said, well, that'll work just fine. All right. So I laid out a plan for him. And we talked about what his goal was, his ultimate goal. He wrote that down. And then he started looking at what had to be done. I coached him along and gave him ideas to think about what it would take to make this do what he wanted it to do. So the first thing was, what do you want it to accomplish? And write that down. So he did that. He wrote it down. And the first go over of what he wrote down, he realized that that wasn't really what he wanted to accomplish. So we took a few iterations of writing down what he wanted to accomplish. After about 3 months, I think he finally came to the place where he realized, yes, this is what I want because I've got it written down. I've gone through it. I've thought about it. And now I've got it. He said, that was really great. Well, now what do I have to do? He said, well, we have to figure out how to accomplish what you want to do, what you want this to look like. What are all the elements that are going to be required to cause this program to do what you want to do? So he started writing things down. He made lists of different things that he wanted to accomplish. Well, I want people to be able to function well and function in such a way that it's very positive. And I thought, well, that's good. Well, what does that look like? Right? So who are the people you're going to actually offer this to? Who do you want to come to this theater that you're going to create? And you know, oh, that's a good thought. That's a good thought. Okay, so write those down. Make a list of the kinds of people and a description of the people that you're going to.
Can you hear me?
Hello, John.
Can you hear me?
Who is
Can you
that?
hear me?
Oh, John?
No, this is Dad.
Sorry.
Mute. Okay. So he was writing down the description of what he wanted people to take away from this. And that was good. So we made some great progress. So as we took step by step by step, we moved along and he defined things. So I helped him define. I actually didn't do the definition myself, but I helped him cause himself to write these things down, to think about it, to move through this process. And as I did this, I thought, this is pretty good. I could really do coaching very well. I thought that's part of what I used to do when I was in construction. I would essentially coach people. I'd tell them that they had to do certain things, but then there were certain things that I had to help them understand and figure out for themselves. That was where the coaching came in. So as James moved along with this project, and the project is still in progress, he's getting to a place where he's almost ready to actually perform his psychology theater. And he's moved along. It's taken close to 2 years to get to this point with him. And it's moved along in an excellent way. I've had many conversations with James about all of the elements that it's going to take to bring this psychology theater to fruition. And we're probably about 90% there right now, and looking forward to causing this psychology theater to actually come to full fruition and present the psychology theater to the world. Mr. Toastmaster.